So hello everyone. Today we'll just see a word pattern problem. So given a pattern and a string s, we have to find if s follows the same pattern. So here follow means like a full match such that there is a bijection between a letter in the pattern and a non-empty word in s. So we see that a pattern is ABBA and our S string is dog, cat, cat, dog. So we have to see if our string follows the pattern which is actually specified. So the pattern specified here is ABBA. That means the first A should be mapped to a string or a word. It's a word actually. Dog is a word. So A will be mapped to dog. Then afterwards we have to see that B. There's a new character B. So B can be mapped to any other word similarly. So we just mapped it to cat. Then next we are getting B again. So we have to print the same cat again. And then finally again A. So what have we mapped to A before earlier? We have mapped A to dog. So you have to give dog over here such that it actually matches the pattern that's given before. So if it matches, then we have to print true. Suppose over here A B B A and we are having dog cat cat fish, whereas it is actually supposed to be dog cat cat dog or fish cat cat fish. Then it would print true, but otherwise this is wrong because A is mapped to dog and A is again mapped to fish. Cannot be mapped to two different words, so we have to return false. And this pattern we see that it's all four A's, so that means everything should be same. So everything should be either dog or everything should be either cat, but none of it. We are just having different values: dog, cat, cat, dog. So we are just going to return false. And an approach we can see here is um, we can just start mapping letters from pattern towards in a string. Okay, so how are we going to map our letters from the pattern, that is ABBA, towards in our string? So that we can use hash map. So first, this is our string, right? Dog space cat space dog. So in our string we are actually having three spaces over here. And if when we're having spaces, first what our first step would be to put it all inside an array, vector actually, it's called a vector, and we'll just put it inside, each word will be a string inside the array, and we can just store it like in this format, this string. Hence this string would become like this. So this is our transformation, our first step in our transformation. We'll convert this to this, like in an array we'll just store dog cat cat dog, our individual words. After removing all that in between spaces, we'll just store it like that. Then um, then we can just proceed on to our next steps. This is our pattern, that a pattern string. So then um, another example would another example would be pattern is ABCD, and and our string is having dog and case. Okay, so it's just having two words, whereas this one is having four. Okay, the pattern is having four characters and is only having two words. So four is not equal to two, so it has to be the same. Four should be, there has to be four words here, only then we can just return true. Otherwise we're just going to check for this edge case and we'll just return false, because initially the size itself is not same. Then how will it even be matching? So we'll just return false. So we can just eliminate it in the first step when this happens. Otherwise we'll just map the letters. Okay, we'll just map the characters to the words inside the string. For example, A is mapped to dog, B is mapped to cat, then again B is mapped to cat. Then if this happens, okay, so again B is mapped to cat, then it has to check whether this cat is actually equal to the word which was mapped by B earlier. So this cat and this cat should be equal. So both the values of B should be the same. So we have to make a condition to check that. So how are we going to do that? We're just going to check our hash map. Okay, so whatever value is there, and for B, okay, so this one will be B, that should be equal to words of I. So it should be equal to our cat, that is, it should be in the vector or words. Actually, it's actually a V vector, which I'm going to initialize again when I code it. So this one will be the vector. So inside the vector we have stored all our cat, dogs, and all our words. So that words of I should be equal to our um, should be mapped to our B. So I mean, whatever was there in our B, that is cat, that should be equal to our words of I. So that is the condition that we have to satisfy over here. And so we have to make a words array for that. That is a vector. So in this question we'll have an unordered map, we'll have a set and we'll have a vector. So we are going to use three concepts over here. So P is equal to A, B, B, A. Then okay, for example, the pattern is like this, and our string we are giving dog, 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 4 dogs. Then we see that the size is the same, yeah, right? Pattern we are having 4 characters, and inside the string also there are 4 words with spaces. But however, even though the size is the same, 4 is equal to 4, inside the pattern is wrong. So this is also one of the things that we have to take care of. So we'll just start to code, then it'll be easier to understand. So I'm just going to write here first. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a vector. I'll just name it and we have string. Then I'm just going to name it as v, vector v. Then int I equals 0. Then string temp. I'm just going to give it as an empty string. Then I'm going to enter inside a while loop. While I is less than s dot size of, then what should be inside the while loop is that we are going to see if there's a space inside it. So whenever we encounter a space, we know what to do, right? Whenever we encounter a space, we have to split it. So I'm just going to single quotes over here. Then I'm going to push it back using push underscore back temp. Then temp is equal to an empty string again, because we have to go back to the empty string. And then we just have an else case condition over here because we have an if condition. Then we're just going to give temp is equal plus is equal to, that means temp is equal to temp plus s of I. We're just going to concatenate everything, or just keep on adding it to our vector. And then after we come out of the our else loop, we're just going to we will just increment our I so that it loops on for a while. We'll increment our I, and then we will just our while loop ends over here. And we have to do one more thing, that is we have to push back v dot we are going to push everything back into our vector, that is v vector temp, and I'll just close it. Okay, done. Then what I'm going to do is another if condition. This is to check for the size, as I already told you, right? The sizes of both the pattern and the string should be the same. Pattern dot size of. So this is like our edge case. If this fails, then that we don't have to traverse through the rest of the program. We'll just return false, and our program will end there. So it's pretty optimal by that way. Then we're just going to make an unordered map, underscore map, and we will do character comma string, because the first pattern we're going to map character to a string, right? Yeah, we are going to map character to a character, or character string to a string. It's a character to a string that we are mapping, and I'm just going to create a set over here that contains string, and I'm going to name it as st. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter into a for loop over here, and I is starting from 0. Then I is less than pattern dot our size of our pattern. Then I will just increment array. Then inside our for loop, what we're going to do is we are going to check for condition. Okay, so the condition is if m dot find of pattern I is not equal to m dot n dot, then again I'm gonna make an if statement. Inside this if statement is another if statement to check m pattern I is not equal to, that is vector y, that is if it's not equal to the value present in the vector, then we are going to return false. This is the case where I said that the b is equal to, I mean, it's mapped to dog, and If B is mapped to cat and then B is mapped to cat again, you have to check whether it's already there in the value, if the value is already present there or not. So here I'm just going to give an else condition. Else if st dot count I, then suppose the count is greater than 0, that means the count inside the set is greater than 0. That means what it means is that uh, a value is present. I mean, more than one value is present, right? More than zero values are present. That means it has already been there in the set. That means it has already been actually mapped to another value, so we cannot use it again. It won't. One one character should only contain one string. For each character, it should only contain one string. So only to do that, I have done this. And again, pattern of I, we will just equate, assign it, and finally we'll just insert our values. If it is actually a fresh value and we have not encountered it before, then we will insert it. Otherwise, otherwise if we have encountered it, then our count will obviously be greater than 0 and we will return false anyway. Then after this, after our for loop ends fails, we will just return true. Suppose nothing happens, then we will return true. That means none of our false conditions have actually worked. So let me just run it and see. So I have an error over here. So let's see what that is. It is okay. So fine, security. Okay, let's should space over here. I'm sorry. What is around here? Okay, if st or count of v is greater than 0. I think inside the inside the else we have if condition, and I forgot to add a bracket over here. It has to end over here. Yes, because we're checking st.count off, right? And we should we should keep everything within the parentheses so that it actually evaluates to true. So now it works. So what this predominantly does is that if it is present inside the hash map, and if the value is present, if the word is present inside the hash map, but if the word is not equal to their value, then you have to return false, because it's not equal to their value, right? That is the earlier value which is there in the vector. If it's not equal, then you have to return false, because it has to be equal. Only then, that means if it's not equal means it has different mappings to that same pattern. It has different word mappings, so we should run false. But if it is present inside the hash map, then we have to if it's present inside the hash map, and we have to check for this condition as well. Else we can just, if it's not present inside the hash map, we have to insert into a hash map. You have to insert it into a hash map. I mean, like, we have to check for this, we have to equate it, or we have to assign it to our hash map, and then we have to insert it into our set. But before we insert it into our set, we have to check that whether it is present in the set or not. So that's why we are applying this count is greater than 0 condition. Suppose count is greater than 0, then we have to return false, because it has already been present in the value, that is the vector array. So thank you.